The Nippon-Foundation-GEBCO Seabed 2030 project has the ambitious goal of mapping the world's oceans by 2030. The collaboration involves teams from all over the planet. Professor Rob Beeman and his team are mapping the seafloor around Australia.
If you compare it against Mars or the Moon, now both Mars and the Moon are 100% mapped from satellites that we've sent out. 100% of those planetary objects is mapped. But here on the Earth, only 20% of the world's oceans have been mapped. That means there's an awful lot yet to discover. Now here is a classic example. The Coral Sea Marine Park. It's just offshore. It's not far from where I live. And yet, we only really knew, I guess, the detailed shape of the shallow portions of it. The deeper parts of it were a bit of a mystery.
The team maps the seafloor using multibeam sonar, which sends out sound pulses or pings, which bounce off the seafloor and return to the ship. The system calculates the time each pulse takes to return and translates that data into a 3D image.
We've been able to look in, like an X-ray layer, looking at all these rock layers built up through time. And so it's quite exciting to put the camera there and fly it, up that 1 kilometre high coral reef.
As well as mapping the seafloor, they also send down a remotely operated vehicle, or ROV, known as Sebastian, with other images in mind.
It's a remote operated vehicle. It's tethered to the surface, so it actually has a cable running up to the surface, a fibre optic cable. It has up to 10 cameras. But the beauty of having the 10 cameras is, I think they had 27 monitors inside the ROV operations room. So they had this beautiful, almost 360-degree picture of what was happening around the ROV, and then they could drive it to where it was going. And the vision was so good, I felt like I was standing on the seafloor just watching the seascape drifting past, and, whatever animals. I just never got tired of it. I was always astounded. Even in places that you thought that might be, I wouldn't say boring, but there was just things that, it might be just sandy seafloor. There might not be a lot of obvious animal life. And then literally a minute later, something would drift into view. So there was just this constant surprise.